Hello and welcome to another Bristol Sonics video blog. Coming up, we check on the progress of both of the Sonics Open Age teams, including some footage from the first team's recent top of the table clash with Northampton Demons. We check on the groundbreaking progress being made in developing junior rugby league in Bristol, covering both the schools tournament and the introduction of 6 new junior cluster clubs within the Sonics brand. And we look at 2 developments in the professional game that could have a big impact on the Sonics. First, the bid to host the 2013 Rugby League World Cup match in Bristol, and secondly, the Championship Review, which could bring something pro rugby league to Bristol in the future.
2011 has seen the Sonics Open Age section take another big stride forwards, with 2 teams competing in the Cooperative Rugby League Conference for the first time. The first team have their sights set on the Midlands Premier title that they just missed out on last season. Meanwhile, the second team have taken their place in the newly formed West of England division against some old rivals, including Gloucestershire Warriors and Oxford Cavaliers. Both league campaigns got underway on the 7th of May on the back of record numbers during pre-season, helped in part by the switch to Filton College's Wise campus for training. The first team started away against Birmingham Bulldogs, a fixture that hasn't been fruitful for travelling Sonic sides in the past. But the Sonics showed no signs of rustiness in their first run-out, winning by an impressive 40 points to 8 thanks to determined defensive performance. Centres Marcus Brooker and Josh Sampson both grabbed braces on their debut. Sonics A team hosted Swindon St George in their first match of conference rugby, and it was certainly a match to be remembered, despite the home team narrowly losing out 28 points to 32. The game was nip and tuck, and the Sonics outscored their opponents 7 tries to 6, but were made to rue 7 missed conversions attempts on a blustery afternoon. The first team then went on to record 2 free-scoring home victories in the next 2 rounds, 52-12 against a well-organised but youthful Telford Raiders side, and 80-0 over Leamington Royals. Mike Norman registered 4 tries in the latter game, while Joel Keane had a successful day with the boot, slotting 12 goals from 14 attempts. In the meantime, the Sonics second team fared less well, suffering a heavy 66-22 defeat away to Gloucestershire Warriors, despite taking the lead twice in the first half. But round 3 gave the second team a week off from league action to enable the Sonics to host old rivals Somerset. The Sonics A got the afternoon off to a flying start, racing into a 24-0 lead against the Vikings. Although the visitors pulled a couple of tries back, it was largely one-way traffic in the second half to give a final score of 54-18 and a satisfying first win. The first had a well-deserved week off following the Leamington result, which left the spotlight on the second team, who hosted Gloucestershire Warriors. The Sonics, trailing 26-14, with 15 minutes of a pulsating game remaining, crossed for a trio of late tries, including a score to level the match 26-all with 2 minutes remaining, earning the home side their first league points and sent the Bristol fans home happy. In round 4, both teams faced top-of-the-table clashes in another double-header at Recians that produced 2 nail-biting matches. The second team welcomed local rivals Wiltshire Wyverns and were good value for a 10-point lead at the break. But the second half swung the Wyverns' way as they clawed back the deficit and took a 6-point lead themselves with 50 minutes remaining. The Sonics rallied and scored through captain Joe Singleton, but Andy Parsons' touchline conversion attempt drifted agonisingly wide. The Sonics threw everything at the visitors in the closing stages, but Wiltshire held out for a memorable victory. The following game saw the Midlands' 2 unbeaten teams face each other for the first time as the Northampton Demons faced the Sonics firsts, and the match more than lived up to its billing despite the Sonics enduring a terrible first half hour, handing the Demons possession and territory through errors and a succession of cheap penalties. The visitors grabbed their opportunities with both hands and opened up a commanding 22-0 lead, and although Bristol grabbed 1 try back through Mike Norman before half-time, it had been a lacklustre performance to this point. The teams exchanged tries early in the second half. At 32-8 down with 50 minutes remaining, it looked a lost cause, but the Sonics never gave up and finally started to gel. Jack Gibson powered over for a close-range score, and suddenly the Sonics found themselves in the ascendancy. On 73 minutes, Dan Evans dramatically dived over for a second out wide, and Swan converted, leaving Bristol 12 points adrift with just 7 minutes remaining. A try 2 minutes later from winger Marcus Brooker, coolly converted by Swan, reduced the arrears further and set up a thrilling final 5 minutes. With a minute left on the clock, Jack Gibson forced his way over in the corner to give Swan a chance to level the scores with a tricky touchline conversion. Swan's kick was close but agonisingly drifted just inches wide. The Sonics were left ruining what could have been, but now have a clearer idea of the levels they need to play at during the rest of the season.
I'm stood here with Joe Catchside, our Regional Development Manager for the South West of England. Joe, what do you think of the schools tournament in Bristol today?
Well, for the second year running, Carl, it's been a fantastic success. It's great to see so many lads playing the sport in Bristol and with such enthusiasm. As you did last year, the Sonics have been here in force. They've made a great impact upon the lads. So many guys going away with flyers for you, talking about coming down and getting involved in the club leagues that you've got set up over the summer. So I think it's been absolutely brilliant.
Right, and it's great to hear there's such good news and with the kids' developments down in the southwest as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of progress. As you know, we've got things going up in Gloucester and Cheltenham. We've got an under-14 side, it looks like, coming out of Devon this year. But what you're doing in Bristol really has been the flagship for the whole region. I think the ambition to create your own league within the city is it's a very bold and adventurous step, and the success that you've had so far shows that this could really be a blueprint for not just for the southwest region, but actually for other development areas across the country.
Thanks, Joe. Good shot! Well in! Good running, Ben, good running! Good on, Ryan! Get off the line!
Okay, here is Stafford Lloyd Junior Chairman and Ross Bergin, one of the junior coaches. Stafford, tell us about the concept of the cluster clubs.
What Bristol Sonics have done is establish 6 cluster clubs spread around the city. The idea is to create a competition structure for Bristol in itself. Bit of rivalry, just getting kids playing rugby and providing that opportunity, which we couldn't do before because we had to travel to Gloucester or to Wales or down in Somerset, which is too far, and we just couldn't get enough kids involved, even though they're really keen. So it's just all about creating that competition, that little bit of rivalry, and giving kids all over Bristol a chance to play, irrespective of where they live.
My name's Johan, I'm the coach for the Storm. We're based at Keynsham, and so far we've been doing very well. A lot of aggression was shown today, and I was very, very impressed as the first session.
Hi, I'm Ross Bergin. I'm one of the coaches for North West Eagles, based at Bristol Saracens. We played well today. We progressed well throughout the 3 games, and all in all, it's been a good result.
Hi, Martin Klein. I'm the coach for Southern Raptors here at Brisington. Really impressed with my guys today. Did really, really well, so I'm really happy with how things are going.
Hi, I'm Joe Singleton, coach for North East Thunder. Again, really pleased with the way my guys got on today.
Hi, Tristan Moore, coach for the Northern Hawks. We had a great day. Awesome to see everyone out there trying really hard. Awesome. Hopefully build on this for next week.
I've had talks with the Harriers. We're based at Whitehall. We played with Johan's Thunder team today. Went quite well. Team Shelton. Yeah, great.
And Ross, you're one of the coaches of the Eagles, the Northwest Eagles. How's the season gone so far in terms of numbers, recruitment, things like that?
It's gone really well. We're getting some good numbers up at Bristol Saracens, where we're based. All the guys are really keen. They progressed really well throughout the 3 games they had today. Some meeting the tackles late on, and some really good footwork, and some nice try scored. We got 1 win for the day, which we'll take, and it's a really good start.
So, Staff, how do you feel the day's gone as a kick-off event?
I think it's pretty good actually. I'm quite impressed. It's always going to be a little bit harum scarum. You know, first time any club anywhere has tried something like this. It's fairly groundbreaking in terms of rugby league. I think it kind of shows how ambitious we are as a club, and it's difficult. But we've got through it. All the coaches have been brilliant. Everyone's mucked in, done their bit. All the kids have really enjoyed it, which is the ultimate aim. And we had 40 kids down here from Bristol playing and enjoying rugby league. So mission accomplished. Looking forward to next week.
Okay, I'll do.
Gary Hetherington, Chief Executive of Leeds Rhinos. You've been involved in a partnership organisation with the South West of England, helping the development of rugby league. Can you just tell us a little bit about what you see as the potential in the South West?
Enormous potential, certainly from a participation point of view. I think it's a very fertile area for rugby talent, and I think the opportunity to play rugby league is going to be an exciting one. And I think rugby is a passion in the South West for the oval ball, predominantly rugby union, of course. But I think rugby league and rugby union can thrive on each other's company, and I think it can become a very big attraction for the South West.
Now, earlier on in your career, before you joined Leeds, years you were responsible for getting the Sheffield Eagles club up and running in an area which was at that point traditionally a football area. How do you see the opportunities and the challenges of taking the sport into a new city and a new area?
I think when we look back, the difficulties at Sheffield is we went in there with a professional club with no development, no participation at all, and very little interest at the outset. What we see in the southwest now is a lot of participation, a lot of development, so it seems to be a logical extension to be able to put a professional, semi-professional team anyway on the top of some outstanding development work, and more people are playing the game and talking about the game and watching the game on television and interested in the game, so it seems to me a natural extension to be able to give people an opportunity to aspire to become a semi-professional player in the southwest.
And just thinking back in the context of the time that you spent at Sheffield, as you know, Bristol is bidding to host games in the 2013 World Cup. If you'd had that kind of opportunity to showcase the highest level of the sport when you were trying to develop the profile of the Sheffield club, what sort of boost, what sort of lift would that have given you?
Well, it did in fact, because on a couple of occasions we did play the Australian tourists, and we got 4 times our normal crowd. I think nearly 10,000 people came along, predominantly on the back of the attraction of the Australian tourists. So I think whenever you bring international sport to a region, the whole sport can be elevated, and I'm certain that's what the Rugby League World Cup will do for the whole of the country in 2013. And the Bristol bid is an exciting one. I think to be bringing some of the very best talent from around the world showcase itself in Bristol will be one to look forward to.
Gary, that's great. Thank you very much.
Leslie Vinicolo, obviously a rugby league legend, now playing rugby union down in Gloucestershire. Leslie, you know what the Rugby League World Cup is like as an event. Can you imagine what that would be like brought down into the rugby culture of South West England?
Oh man, it would be awesome. You know, as you see out here, you know, the kids are doing really well. You know, they've got a lot of skills. And you know, you want to show them that they can play rugby league down here as well.
Fantastic. You've obviously played in games at Kingsholm and Gloucester, and you've played against the likes of Bath and Bristol in local competition. What's the atmosphere like for rugby in the south?
Man, it's awesome down here. You know, it's pretty much like we're up north in league. You know, it's pretty much like the same. But the only thing is that up north is more singing than down here. But you know, like all the fans here, real passion with Gloucester, and you know, those are the fan that you want to play for, and you want to run out there at Kingsholm.
Fantastic.
When you hear that, it's kind of like energy just boosts you, you know, boost you up. So
ideal. So you've obviously come from rugby league to play rugby union in the south of England. From your experience, do you think that the crowds and the supporters for rugby union in the south would adapt to the rugby league code as easily as you have done as a player?
Yeah, definitely. I think they will. If they give them, like, you know, a chance to learn the games and learn the games a bit more, and you know, everybody, all the fans will love it, man. Like today, you know, it's good to see some parents and you know some guys out here that you know they haven't seen or play rugby league before, and you know, it's going really well. The kids enjoyed it, and you know, that's all you need to ask for.